evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. This is your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. My name remains Comfort Eyitayo. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business, enterprise, and personal growth. And each show is organized to feature special guests who are usually subject matter experts that helps to throw more insight into the topic of the day. I'm glad that you're able to join us today and you're most welcome. So go straight to the point, the topic. Our topic today is as simple in form as it is profound in implication, and that is where is good. Yes, you heard me right. Where is good? In a world overwhelmed by shifting values, complex choices, and blurred moral lines, the idea of good seems increasingly elusive. Is good a place, or is it a principle? Can we say it's a person, or perhaps a path we seek but seldom find? From homes to boardroom, from classroom to communities, the search for what is truly good and where good resides has become one of the most pressing pursuits of our time. So today, we are not merely asking for a definition, but seeking that direction. We are asking ourselves, in a time when success often overshadows sincerity, where can we find the good that restores hope, inspires action, and anchors integrity? So, as we begin the conversation today, I invite all of us to engage not just with our intellect, but with our conscience. For in locating good, we just might discover what it means to be human and to live with purpose beyond self. So these are the intrigues that we need to engage in today with our special guest who is already in the house, waiting patiently for us, and we will meet her right after this short break. Please remain connected. We'll be right back. Thank you. You are welcome back. Like I said before that short break, our guest is already in the house waiting. But before we welcome her properly, permit me to say a word or two about our special guest for today's show. Today on Connect with Comfort show, we are honored to welcome Amina Ismail. Amina is a public health consultant, an entrepreneur, strategic voice in gender-focused child development, with a growing reputation as a leading advocate for the boy child in Africa. She is the founder and lead strategist at Nurturing the Boy Child Academy, an innovative platform providing transformational resources, learning interventions, and coaching in parents, educators, and institutions invested in the holistic development of boys. Her academy is redefining what it means to raise emotionally grounded, purpose driven young men in today's fast paced world. With an associate degree in Islamic psychology and over a decade of hands on parenting experience of raising four boys, Amina fuses real life insights with research backed strategies to build safe, empowering environments where boys can thrive and not just survive. She is the author of the acclaimed guidebook, Now I Have a Son, What's Next? That's the title of the book. Now I Have a Son, What Next? The book is a practical tool for mothers navigating the complex journey of raising boys in today's world, and the creator of the widely used connection cards for moms and dads of boys. The card is a 60-piece activity deck that has helped transform relationship between boys and their parents across households and communities. Amina also brings her expertise into the field of maternal mental health, where she is passionate about leveraging digital health technologies to improve emotional wellness outcome for vulnerable women. Her research and interventions in this space are gaining recognition for their innovative and impactful approach. Whether she's delivering keynote presentations, designing family-centered solutions, or engaging thought leaders on parenting and development, Amina remains a credible voice and visionary leader committed to reshaping the future one boy at a time. When she's not working, you will likely find her experimenting with recipes and baking irresistible banana bread and cake for friends and family. Yummy. You're already whetting my appetite. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please join me in welcoming our special guest for today on Connect with Comfort show, Amina Ismail. You are most welcome, Amina. Thank you very much for coming on this show and as you are willing to share your vast experience with us. We appreciate you highly. You're most welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Ma. Can I be heard? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud
All
and
right.
clear.
Thank you so much. I kind of at the point I started looking around like who are we speaking about? But yes, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. I'm a huge fan of your work and your legacy, including your family. And thank you so much for the work that you do. Yes, ma. Thank you for remaining relevant even after
Thank
all of
you.
these years. God bless you, ma. Yes,
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. So we'll move
yes,
straight
ma'am.
to this burning question that is on our mind. Because when
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
say what is good, it can be misinterpreted. So what do you mean, or what do we mean when we say something or somewhere is good?
It's good. Okay. Thank you for that question, ma. So this is a very wide, it has so many levels to it when we talk about good. So we can start from the individual level where I say, oh, that meal I had is really good, to something that starts to, almost interpret the values you have, where you say, oh, it's good to help people, where you say it's good to tell the truth. So it's almost human nature, because because of my background in psychology, we believe there is inherent good in everyone and everything. So it's almost human nature, where the natural human instinct can say what is good. But because there's an interplay of so much, there's we're spiritual beings, so we also believe in, the devil, in conditioning and all of that. So it can be twisted, but trust me, it is something that you can almost, while it's subjective, it can also be quite seen objectively that, this is good, and it is based on my values that I can say that this is good. Yes, ma.
Thank you very much. Generally, what everybody can see is right can be taken as
Yes,
good.
ma.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma.
is good a fixed location, a moral standard, or personal experience? Did you get that question?
Yes, I can see. Okay,
Amina?
can I be seen? Can I be heard? Can I be
Yeah,
seen?
I can see you. I can hear you now. At the time, the network froze a bit. I'm asking a question. Okay, it's network. Okay, we just give a minute for our guests to come back. I think the network is playing up. Happy Sunday, happy last Sunday in June. Taiwo, it's nice to have you here again. Okay, Rekia Mohammed, thank you. Okay, you're
Okay, can
all
I be
welcome.
seen? Can I
Yeah,
be
I
heard?
can I can hear
It
you
looks
now.
like
Yeah,
my network is it-
yes,
okay.
it's network.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
understand.
right, ma'am.
I'll take that question again.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just I'm
Okay.
asking in this
Okay.
context, can we talk of good being a fixed location, a moral standard, or a personal from personal experience? Can we say good exists in a place that is comfortable but unjust? That place is unjust but comfortable. Can we say good will exist in such a place?
So good cannot be said to be, a particular location. We cannot place it on a map and say, okay, this is good. Oh, Nigeria is not good. Nigeria is good. Some other place is not good. No, so I don't think we have the liberty to say that, because it means different things at the same time to different people. But the truth is, it is still, so I'll be speaking a lot about value system, in this conversation, because, and when it comes to value system, it is very personal a lot of the time. So it's personal to you as an individual, it's personal to you based on your religion, based on your culture. So it's almost like a relationship between our values and the outcomes that we hope to get. So it's not a place that you can pinpoint, but it's my values. How does it relate to the outcome, to the results I'm getting? That's when I can say, oh, this whole experience was good. That's why I can say, oh, this visit to this place was good because I had an expectation and then there was a resulting outcome. So that's it. So it's quite subjective, but it depends on what it is that we're dealing with. And then it is possible to find good in an unjust environment, comfortable but unjust. Um, that also ties back to your values. Trust me, it is something that a lot of us today deal with, in the sense that, you know, on the outside, it looks so, because there's a lot of packaging in a lot of things we do today. So on the outside, it looks so beautiful, it looks so comfortable. But when you go deep down, is it really, does it really agree with your value system? Is it really something that you're comfortable with? Or are you just doing it just to get by? Are you just doing it because of the money involved? So is at that point you now have to decide. So it's at that point I have to make a choice to say, what is it that I'm going to go with now? Am I going to go with my value system, or am I just going to get comfortable and just turn the other way and act like everything is okay? Or I'm going to keep allowing my values speak to me, my values of integrity, of honesty, of compassion. So basically it doesn't always align, comfort and justice, right? But it also reveals that good has layers. So I can take what it is that I want. I can take what it is that is good, and I can stand against what it is that is not working. And I think that's where we find ourselves. A lot of us find ourselves today, where it's packaged to be good, but by the time you go deep, you see that no, there's a lot of packaging, but deep inside there are layers to it. And so you have to take what it is that is working for you and learn to speak out against what is not working. Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. I think the character traits of individual will also make it
Yes.
easier for you to
Yes.
assess or determine what is good. That's
Yes.
a very brilliant
Yes,
response.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, who defines what is good? Is it society, culture, religion, or individual?
Hmm. So you say, I wish I could have like one sentence answers to this thing, or just one word to say, no, it's the society, and we leave it at that. But just like the other questions you've asked, we would agree that it's an interplay of influences. While individuals bring their personal responses, their personal experiences, their innate tendencies, their personalities, like you rightly mentioned, their character traits, we still have culture to think about. We still, and it should align for it to be seen as good. We still have our religion to think about, and it should align. And so for most of it, there is actually, I'm thinking, because we did math, I'm thinking of a Venn diagram right now, and we're looking at that middle where that subset where everything falls in it. So there is that subset that will contain everything, and that is where you say, oh yes, this is good. But it's an interplay of personal, culture, religion, what is acceptable by the government. And so we can't just on my own just say, oh, I am Amina, I have defined that 1, 2, 3, 4 is good, and I don't care what every other person thinks. It doesn't work that way. So it's an interplay of so many influences, from culture to personal influences, to the government, and a whole lot of subsets that we can't do without. Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Very, very good. Then, with all this definition and understanding that we are creating around the topic good, can good change over time? And if so, what
Hmm.
drives the change? When we have decided this is good, can it change over time?
Yes, ma'am. So because change is constant, because social hierarchies, there's social class, there is humans constantly changing, there are rules constantly changing. um we can things So there's some subjective parts that can change. But for me, so you can read that in text, that they'll say yes, it changes and all that. But when you come down to value system, which which is where good is hinged on, a lot of the times, those principles stay constant, those principles stay permanent, those principles. So some things might change, maybe because there's a new dispensation, there's a new government, but even us humans will say, even though the government is telling us this is good for us, for me, it is not good for me personally. So we can twist it as much as we like, but the truth remains that, there are some things that cannot change. And I think for those things, let's just leave it as we are. But because we keep tampering with them, that's why we find ourselves in the situations we find ourselves in, where we're trying to twist things to suit us. And let's try to change it and define good as this. But in reality, I think what is good remains, and what is bad
Constant.
remains
Yeah.
too. Yes, ma.
Very good and very true. Very true. And that leads nicely to the next question. Looking at the current business and professional climate, do you think we have redefined good to mean what works rather than what is right? What's the risk in that shift?
So yes, ma. We're in the 21st century, and we can see, now we can't even run away from the chaos and decadence that is all around us. Starting from our homes, you know, up until our places of work, and even the government. So we've even stopped. I think we should be honest enough to accept that it is not just about the government. And because of the line of work that I deal with a lot of, it's a one-on-one relationships. So I'm not necessarily at that place yet where we're making policies, but you start to see the roots even from an individual level and even from the family level. And so a lot of things I'm going to be saying today, I want to humanize it, because a lot of times when we bring these things, we're like, oh no, they're just talking about the government, or they're just talking about businesses that are, those big businesses. But I want us to be able to relate, and we're going to humanize these things. And so when we start to pick what works over what is right and what is good, we're seeing how there's a breakdown of everything around us. Our foundation is literally being shaken because we're changing things to suit, we're trying to be trendy, we're trying to be fashion, we're trying to be in style, but it doesn't necessarily work. And we're seeing that when we train, especially because I deal with family, I'm always very particular about what we're passing down to the next generation. When we teach them that we should pick what is right, what works over what is right, they're going to start to exploit people around them. They're going to start to exploit the system. I deal with boys and I tell them, if you want to just pick what works for you, you're going to try to manipulate your wife tomorrow. You're going to try to even manipulate your children just so you're doing something that works for you at that time. So I need us to take it to an individual level, because when we start to address it there, trust me, it will be easier. By the time you start growing, you get a job and you're moving, you run a business, you will try to do what is right regardless, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it is difficult. So yes, what is right, what is wrong, what it works over what is right is making a mess of our systems, and we cannot run away from it. We need to tell ourselves the truth today.
Fantastic. So, for business leaders under pressure to deliver results, how can they preserve quality, ethics, and human values without being seen or shown? Maybe they call them old school or they are very slow.
Yes, ma'am. So it still goes back to us doing what is not in vogue, but what we believe in, what our value systems are. Um, so business leaders must remember that they are modeling behavior for the next generation. I think if we have this in mind, because of the work I do, again, it's not just about the now. We're not about getting immediate results. I always love to go to the roots because it's parenting. So we've spent a lot of parents today, where millennials in particular, we are in our mid 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, 50s. And I would say our lives are almost over. But what about the younger ones that we're just passing down, that are just starting their lives? What are we teaching them? And so we're saying that when you remember that you're modeling behavior for the next generation, you will not see yourself as old school. You not see those values that have kept this world going for the longest time. And because we have ignored these same values, we're facing the problems we're facing in our society, in our businesses, because we want to cut corners, because we want to not, our therapy sessions, we want them to go by really fast. And so we can move to the next client, because we want to just be done with our children so we can go back to scrolling. We are cutting corners. And speed without integrity creates wounded people. And that is why it looks like there are a lot of wounded people. There are a lot of sick people in the society today because we are cutting corners. So I tend to teach the boys in my academy that, see, your competitive advantage is your ability to have integrity. Your character is your competitive advantage. And when you build trust, there is no shortcut that can, that can replicate that.
Or
So build trust,
enduring.
continue to build trust. Yes,
It's more
ma'am.
enduring. Yeah, you're right. Are you true?
Yes, yes, ma'am. I
Oh,
am. I've submitted on that one.
okay. So in that same context, if we look at a business environment or professionals, have you observed that in many industries, cutting corners has become the norm? How do professionals or business owners, entrepreneurs resist that tide and still stay competitive?
Okay. Okay. So what I hear you say, Ma, is I'm hearing you talk about
No, I'm saying, have you observed that it's becoming like the norm to cut
yes,
corners in
yes,
industry, even in businesses, even for
yes,
professionals? So
yes.
how can professionals or even entrepreneurs talk of business now maintain their
Yes, Ma. It's something that is
integrity
widely observed now. Yes, yes. So
because they
it's
want to be
something that is
competitive?
widely observed.
Yeah.
Yes. So even with something, yes, because of the competition, because there's just so many people doing the same thing,
Mm.
and I want to get ahead. I want to get ahead. So how do I get there faster? And some of these things, it is process, and you cannot rush process. Excellence doesn't come by accident. Excellence mastery doesn't come by accident. It is when you bury yourself in the soil, when you go through that process. So it can come for someone who has cut corners. It can come, and it can come really fast. But as fast as it comes, it can also go very, very fast. So when does yes, ma? Am I getting you?
Yeah, I said that's true.
Are you
You
trying?
said no, you said the way it comes is the way it goes. If it comes fast through
Yes,
cutting corners, it will go the same way. I'm just
yes.
acknowledging that.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. So we have to teach. I go back to teaching our children because we see, oh, leaders, oh no, I have to be a boss in my company. Sir, ma, as a parent, you are a leader in your home. And it starts from there. It starts from what you're teaching your children. So you have to teach them that excellence is not an accident. It is when you have buried yourself, when you have immersed yourself in the process, when you literally have bled and you have cried. And so someone that just comes with short term success will come and will be fine. But trust me, it's always for a short time. And because you are grounded, when you fall, it's easier for you to get up and keep moving. But for that person whose success was overnight, who cut corners to become successful, when he falls, his fall is loud and it's difficult to stand up from that fall. So can we look at the big picture and stop getting carried away by all of the packaging we see on social media? In the end, the truth always comes to reveal itself. Yes, ma.
Fantastic. That's a good one. We have a contribution from one of our online audience, um, Dr. Asen from Abuja, and he says, "What is good. What is bad. Adopting what works
Yes.
for convenience sake diminishes what is good. It
What
puts
is good?
integrity on
Yes.
trial." Very true.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yes, ma.
very much,
Yes,
Dr.
ma. Yes,
Asen.
ma. Yes, ma.
And like
Thank
you
you.
rightly
Thank you.
said, if you are not well grounded because you cut corners, it's not only that the fall will be loud. If you have to make any other attempt at going forward, you have to start from the scratch.
From the
Different
scratch. Yes,
from the
ma.
person that's well grounded. It's like a mending offense. But this one that is a total collapse, we have to start from the scratch, and that is more time consuming. So it's better to start well. How do different cultures or societies interpret and pursue good?
Sorry, ma, I didn't get that.
How do different culture or society, like
Yes, ma'am.
in our culture we have different cultures. I mean, in our country we have different cultures. How do
Yes,
they
ma'am.
interpret and pursue what is good?
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, so we have different societies, we have different cultures. And all of these cultures and these societies, there's something they believe in. For them to believe that something is good, it's does it work for them? It's still the same thing as, you're looking at our value system and you're looking at the outcome. So there's an outcome you're looking for. There's an outcome we're looking for you to say, okay, so I go to a particular restaurant and I order something. There's an outcome. There's something I'm hoping to look for to say, okay, if I get this, this must have been a very good experience. So it has to do with you being able to, can you forecast? Can you see the outcome in your mind? Can you um do you understand why this is even seen as good in the first place? If you do, and it still goes back to values, if you do, and if you understand why you're picking those values and why those things are being seen as good, you will tarry along no matter how difficult it is as a society. And even when you see every other person going left, you will choose to still go right, because you know you're seeing the big picture, you're seeing what it is that you're looking at, and that's what you're going for. And even if it doesn't, it will happen longer than expected, because of how everyone is just doing what works for them. You would choose to stay grounded, you would choose to stay buried, you would choose, because you know that the day of sprouting is coming. Yes, ma'am. So yes, while we have good in different societies, we still have those who will deviate from the norm and who will try to twist it to suit them, like our contributor says. But we should stay grounded and we should stay rooted. Yes, ma, in our beliefs.
Thank you very much for that. We have another contribution from Dr. Asain talking about the practices of manufacturer these days. It's not
Yes,
really what they promise in terms of the inscription on the
yes,
packaging and
yes,
everything that you
yes,
get.
yes,
I,
yes,
I think most of these people are losing values by the day, because if we're saying it's your value set determines what operates, or how you operate or define or accept what is good, then definitely that cannot be good, because he's saying, and as we know, not just him saying it, products today fall short of the quality on the label, the quality they state that you are getting, which you are expected to rely on, is not really what you are getting, and is considered as deceptive and fraudulent, like anybody would attest to. So maybe this topic that looks so simple cut across even for manufacturers, even for the
yes,
nation, because I can
yes,
recollect in my growing up days that there are certain things you dare not do. It's not just your parent that will tell you that this is
yeah.
good or this is bad.
Everybody.
The society helps to shape
Yes,
and mold you into that belief concept that there are certain things you will not do because it is not right. Anything that will hurt another person, you are meant to look at it as bad, and then anything that can help the other another person, it doesn't matter even if it's not related to you, is considered to be good. And that was the order of the day. We cannot say that now. So I just hope maybe some people, by chance, that are in the policy making for this country will listen to some of these things and see how they can reposition, and for us to retrace our step, so to say,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
times were good when we were doing good. Let me, if I can use that phrase.
Yes, ma. So let me speak to that a little. And so while I'm saying all of these things, it doesn't mean it's easy. Trust me. Even with businesses across board at your organization, you see that is the one person who's cutting corners that is actually getting,
People
paid
win.
more.
Yes.
Yes, the person, it could be someone who is, just not doing the right things in different capacities. And that's the person. But trust me, on the long run, it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay in the long run. It always, at some point, at some point, and you might not even be alive to witness it. and it's frustrating. So what I'm saying we should try to practice here, it's not easy per se, but we're called, we're in academy where we call ourselves the remnants. Like we're the remaining people who are still sane, and it's just for us to continue to make our voices louder, our voices. So it's not enough to just keep quiet anymore and just say, oh, I'm in my corner, just doing good. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, it's not enough anymore. Because these people who are doing bad, they are so loud, they are so in your faces. So those who are doing good, can we try to start to be loud? And it's time from our parent generation, where those who were doing good, they lacked the confidence to actually push out this good. So before you know it, the government was overtaken by those who had, ulterior motives, and our parents were there watching everything happen. And that is why we're where we are today. And so it's the silence, more than the bad, is the silence of those who were doing good. That's even the worst offense. And so we're trying to say, those of us, you who believe in good, can you stand up and can you start to speak? You need to be bold. You need to speak out, because if you don't, the bad voices will continue to be the loudest voices. And that is why we're facing what we're facing today. Beyond, the devil has always existed and God has always existed. But can we start to speak what God wants us to speak, so that it doesn't look like it's only the devil that is in existence? No, it is not. I refuse to believe it. And so we need to continue to do good, because someday it will pay off. If not now, in the future. Yes, ma.
Thank you very much. That reminds me of saying that the guilty party in a situation where the evil is thriving is those in quotes that are good that kept silent. Because I'm just
Yes.
your word is just re-echoing that we need to be loud and not just say, well, I'm doing good, let me just stay in my corner. It's not enough for us to
Mm-mm.
stay in
It's
our
not
corner.
enough. Not anymore.
It's just right for us to speak out against evil and all that. Because when you keep quiet or you look the other way, the evil will continue to thrive. And that's why we are now saying it's
Yes.
becoming the norm rather than exception. The cutting corners is becoming norm. It's like the normal thing when it's supposed to be the exception. So we need to do
Yes.
more. So I'm just agreeing with you that we need to be
Yes,
loud
ma'am.
and make that a conscious effort to let people
Yes,
know
ma'am.
what is good. In that context, can we say, well, it's a broken system. There's no shine about it or
Away from it. Yes, ma'am.
denying the obvious. It's a
Denying
broken
it.
system.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
any place still be called good even in this broken system?
Sorry, ma, you said, can any place still be called good, even within the
Yes,
broken system? Is that the
yes,
question?
that's it.
Yes, ma. Oh, yes. Very well. Very well so. And it starts with you. It starts with you owning your good. It starts with you being confident in the good that you have. And that's just the only difference. It's so sad. I see it and I see it over and over again. A whole lot of very good, amazing people. And I'm speaking of our parents' generation. And just that confidence to really, speak about the good that they have. And then when you're bold about something, you can't wait to pass it on to the next generation. You can't wait to speak about it wherever it is you find yourself. So I want you, if there is any good you see around, and starting from the one within yourself, own it and celebrate it. And make it look like you're $1 million that you're celebrating. And gradually it will start to, it will be contagious. Gradually people will start to pick on it. It's not still, while it looks like everything is materialistic and flashy, because human nature is, a human is inherently good. A human can still smell, he can still tell that what he's doing is bad. So you continue to sing your good and sing it so beautifully as if you're the next best thing after sliced bread. And gradually, it is a very gradual process. And it's okay to be alone for a very long time. And what I'm saying is really hard. And you might not even have the resources that, oh, with all my good, I am just broke, I'm still poor. But can you start to, it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. And when you see that, being not having much does not define you, but it's what is in your heart, is what you do every day, is how you touch the next person, is how you avoid to harm the next person just to get ahead. that is what God says, and that's what matters the most. When you start to do that and you revel in it, you enjoy yourself, you carry it so beautifully, you will start to attract. You, in short, you will create your own table, and others will not have a choice but to come and sit on it. And even if they won't sit on it, at least they will go far away from you. And for now, sometimes that's itself in itself is enough. Yes, ma.
That's that's a good one. So as a leader or guide that we are, how do we help others find where is good for them? When we say where is good, not the place per se, but the good we are talking about, how do we help them to find it?
Find what is good. It's for us to I think it has a lot to do with self-awareness. Self-awareness is key. So helping you first of all to understand what you see and what you consider as good. You need to eat. There's nothing as like you need to be raw and honest with yourself. So you're not picking because Mama Maka said this is good. So I'm just going to join her to say this is good. You need to sit down with yourself in the dark, close the door, only you. What do you define as good? And then when you do that, you're able to find like minds. We're able to find people that are like you. So, and there's something about community, the strength of community today. It's so beautiful, but it's left to you to decide what community you want to end up in. Do you want to end up in that community where there's a dissonance between what you believe and what the practice, just because you want to feel among, just because you want to be seen as, you very woke, it does not align with your values. There's actually a dissonance between them and you, but you remain there. You will never be happy. You won't. So can you try to identify first of all what matters to you? Identify what it is and start to find like-minded people. And with that, gradually you're pouring into each other, and iron sharpens iron. And so before you know it, you guys are comfortable, even though you're not the majority, even though you're not as loud, but you're holding on to each other and you're gradually climbing up that ladder of loudness, because I'm all about us making our goodness loud and bold. Yes, ma. So try to find people, because we are so how many million? We're so many. How many billion in the world? You can't tell me you're alone and so you're very, very depressed because you're the only good person. That's not true. Even if you can't find a good person in your organization, you'll find someone in another organization doing something good. Try to connect. You will find basis for connection, and it's enough for you for now. And as we just hold on to whatever it is, hope we can hold on to, and we hope that things get better. And trust me, they will get better.
By the grace of God, that's our prayer.
Yes, ma'am.
We pray a lot in Nigeria. So, I will also, and that leads me beautifully to this question: what role does faith play in determining or finding what is good?
Ah, faith is huge, like undiluted faith, not the faith that we've tried to twist to suit us, right? And it cuts across. I'm talking Muslims, Christians, everybody. We try to twist just to suit us. Okay, sorry, please, 1 minute. Ah,
Okay, maybe before our guests come back, we can actually take just have a look at some of the um, points she has made in terms of the topic, what is good. We have been made to realize that it's better to keep. Okay, she's coming back. Amina, Okay, let me use that opportunity to once again welcome our guests, those that are featured in today's show. I know some of them are Amina's friends. Maybe I will mention their name again when she comes back online. We have, as part of our regular audience, Dr. Ibela Singh from Abuja, Taiwo Ojo from Abuja. We have Olufemi Ojewale, Rekia Mohammed. I think she's a friend of our guest. She sends love from Venn diagram and analogy. Then Banjo from Lagos, Elizabeth, Ajayi, Marvelous, Bethel, my sister Wendy Garuba Ayeni also joined.
Oh,
And
I am so sorry.
okay, you are back. I was using
Sorry,
that
I
opportunity to welcome our guests. Those people who joined us online. Some of your friends also joined. I think you know. Rekia Mohammed. She sent love from.
yes, that's my sister.
Okay, she sent love from Venn diagram analogy, and there's
Okay, thank
I
you.
think what's the name again? Olufemi Ojewale. Is that from your side, Elizabeth? Some of them join. Okay, Ajayi Marvelous from Ugo. Okay. Okay, so I use that opportunity, short break, to greet them. Elizabeth Nneke, is that a friend of yours, or is just one of our regular? You don't
Yes,
know.
so
Okay, so they joined to support you on the show. Okay, I just
thank
saw a
you.
contribution from Dr. Asayin again, uh, talking about the good people mostly consistently demonstrate their conviction, speak up, and refuse to accept what is bad, even if it works. Yeah, true.
Yes, yes,
And maybe I will just add to that, not only even if it works. Sometimes, in the face of tyranny, some people go back to their shell. They will not want to rock the boat so that they don't end up standing alone. But if it means having to stand alone
yes.
when
It's
there's
fine.
need for you to say the right thing and
Very okay.
follow, please stand alone,
Yes,
because
mom.
your
Yes,
your stand alone stand can even earn you majority in the end. It may be initially lonely, but you'll be glad
yes,
when
mom.
people get to start seeing the right perspective. So let's just see if we can squeeze in one question before, because the time is fast spent. We didn't even have to go on the second break because we're enjoying all that you are dishing out for us, Amina. So, what advice would you give to young professionals or business people who are trying to build a career in a system that seems to reward speed, shortcuts, and show over substance? What would be your advice for them?
Okay. So this part I love because I deal with teenage boys mainly. I deal with mothers too, but I also deal with teenage boys, and there's a lot. Like it's a struggle getting them to believe what is, I would say, is not the norm anymore, but it's something that I consistently say that, see, excellence and ethics, they are not opposites. So don't think that for you to show up as your excellent self, you have to break rules and you have to bend rules and you have to twist things and you have to package yourself a different way, because whatever it is, whoever it is you are in private, you should be able to align that with who you are in public. But a lot of the
Yeah.
times in public, we're just very Instagram ready, we're camera ready, we're so beautiful. And then what happens at home? I always say that, say, the best way I can know you, if you like come with all of everything looking, you look like $1 million, but it's your children and your spouse, your family are some of the people that know you the best. And so if you can marry that to your outer persona, and your and who you are internally seriously, then you're good to go. So you should constantly, you have to be in a place of accountability where you're accountable to yourself first, and if possible you're accountable to a community where you're like-minded people. You're constantly reminding yourselves of what is good. And I've seen it happen. I've been in a similar company 4 years now. And no matter how hard it looks, no matter how LGBTQ and whatever, because the parenting community, we are coming back and we're aligning and we're saying, how loud can we be? Louder than, we were last year. How we look for the ways they're coming and we try to come through, other ways again and say, counter what they're doing. It's hard because you're almost constantly in a race running after, you haven't even completely absorbed one, and then another one is upon you. But you have to stay relevant. You have to stay informed. You have to stay knowledgeable. You cannot do this in isolation. You cannot do this when you claim, oh, I'm so good, I have arrived, and I don't care what everybody has to say. I am the doctor of the son of. No, it doesn't count when it comes to real hardcore learning and self-development. And so for you to be able to stand on your good, you need to continue to learn. You need to even continue to learn about the bad so you can know what to avoid and how to be
Absolutely.
good. Yes. So we do that while also being very authentic and vulnerable with your struggles. A lot of times we come and show only the good sides and show only. No, you have to also, because you're passing over things to the
Right.
younger generation. Let them know that there was a part of your life where you struggled and you're still struggling. So being vulnerable, not just dwelling on packaging and being picture perfect, I think that will also help them. Being able to say, as your mother, as your father, I went through this and I'm still going through this, but I want you to meet me here. And I don't know what you're going to go through tomorrow, but maybe when I share mine with you today, it will help you on your journey tomorrow. So that's all. Children and the next generation, they're not looking for perfection. They're just looking for wisdom. And wisdom lies in our struggles, in our so-called failures. But it's fine. Can we stand up and move and leave the packaging aside? Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. You've been so wonderful. Time does
Yes,
not permit.
ma'am.
Normally we go on the second break, but I had to bend that break because I
But
wanted to package as many of the questions as possible.
as
I'm glad that
possible.
we had you today because you really, really able to make this fantastic contribution to our show. Thank you very much. And this is part of
Yes,
what we are doing
ma'am.
collectively too, to impact positivity onto others, to assist them one way or the other, because all these nuggets of wisdom, words of wisdom also matters in development, even if it's professional career or business, it helps. So thank you very much, and I appreciate all your friends that joined us to support you. Let them know that
Yes,
the
ma'am.
show is weekly. They should not only join when you are on the
Thank
show,
you.
and they can also be contributor. Thank you very much. We really
Thank you.
just have
Thank
to
you so much.
round up because time is fast spent, but I appreciate you highly, Amina. So
Yes,
as we
ma'am.
conclude on this enlightening conversation, it is clear that the question where is good is not merely a philosophical musing, but a call to reflection and responsibility for all of us. Good is not a distant place or mysterious destination that we'll be looking to get to. It is found where truth is upheld, doing the right thing, where integrity leads, where empathy thrives, and where each of us chooses to make a difference. It is not always convenient, like our guests have told us. It is not popular or easy, but it is always right. Good is where we stand for what is just, speak up for what is right, and act in ways that lift others and leave our world better than we met it. So, as we live here today, may we not only seek where good is, but be where good is in our homes, our workplaces, our communities, and within ourselves. I want to once again appreciate all of you, our audience online, friends of our guests, and our usual audience, and especially our guest, special guest of today, Aminat Ismail. Thank you very much for your wonderful contribution. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. If so, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos, stay updated with information about our upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, let us go not asking where good is, but boldly declaring, here is good because I am here. That is, let people see the good in us. Thank you once again, and God bless you.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am. Thank you so much
Bye.
for having me. Bye.
Thank you.